Hi, it's a little dark in here, so I'm going to turn the light on. Just a minute. And that was actually less than a minute. That was 15 seconds. I counted. So, in this video, I am going to just discuss a few of my ideological positions on certain issues. I am pro-choice, very pro-choice in fact. I am pro-gun, but I am also very pro-gun control. And this isn't so much ideological positions, but a more balanced view of reality. In regards to corporate feudalism, in many ways, conditions of workers around the world have improved a lot, and they've also gone down the proverbial toilet. Global economics is a complicated thing. I don't know too much about it, but I do know it's complicated. So, what it is that I've noticed that when I was in the 80s, all the stores, like in between the large department stores and malls, a lot of them seem to be a lot more diverse than they are now. You actually had a natural food store. You didn't have to go to a farmer's market all the time to get sustainable food. In the 80s, you could go to one of the stores in the mall. They would always have several diverse stores themed on nature and the wilderness. A lot of them, like in my state of Massachusetts and in New Hampshire, were themed on the Northwoods, and they were full of like sustainable and nature-themed products. And then you had one of them was Ecology House, which was known for creating goods that were not that bad for the earth, but that were actually sustainable. And you had a bunch of individually owned nature-themed stores too. Plus, you had these interesting fantasy and medieval stores, New Age stores. You had all these art exhibits. If it sounds like shopping, like 80s malls, the Mall of Madonna, the Material Girl, and the Me Decade sound more like an avant-garde boutique from like a college town, it is true. I remember that. Of course, there always was materialism and corporate greed in malls, but there was a lot less of it in the 80s. More of it came in the 90s. A lot of that diversity was erased, but not all of it was. Surprisingly, that diversity continued into the 90s, and it's only been in the last decade and a half that sadly any of that, economic diversity in stores in a mall has been erased. Corporate feudalism sadly has killed small business in many ways, and the death of small business has sadly meant everything in a shopping mall is pretty much similar to Walmart. It's all completely uniform. There's no diversity, no individual hands or creativity in creating the products. That is sad. Whenever I walk into a shopping mall, I feel this creepy, eerie air of silence, which is probably related to the horrible aura of the fear and horror of both the sweatshop workers and the non-human animals and trees being destroyed to make the stuff. So, however, my merchandising campaigns and my I Love product placement videos, one of the aims of them is actually to rescue small business and to sort of bring a lot of economic diversity back. If you've noticed, a lot of the stuff I talk about for products, for food, clothes, toys, etc. in those videos, there's a lot of individual creativity in all of them, and a lot of imagination and heart and meaning. It's not just about mindless consumerism, buy. It's in fact that mentality that has made shopping malls, as uniform and as devoid of creativity or diversity that they are now. So, as much as some extreme radicals might say, oh, anything merchandise-driven and product placement-based is horrible, that's what led to the death of small business. Well, the type of product placement and merchandise I am thinking about is actually, part of the whole, like, Etsy, geeky, anime fan, furry, all that kind of, like, merchandise like you'd find at geek conventions. And, yeah, it is actually in the favor of, sort of fixing economics and rescuing the small business from complete corporate, uniformity. So, those are a couple of my ideological positions. Um, Good night. Um, Tomorrow we can discuss more of this hot button stuff.